Johnson, the comedian and actor who played the memorable Ezell in Friday, has died. He was 55. His rep told The Hollywood Reporter, "We lost an icon. He will be greatly missed. He has left us with amazing memories of his laughter, dynamic acting skills, but most of all his enormous personality and heart of gold." Sometimes credited as A.J. Johnson, the Compton, California native and stand-up comic appeared in the I Got the Hookup film series, among other projects like the Kid and Play classic House Party, Menace II Society, and Lethal Weapon 3. Johnson is arguably best known for his hilarious performance as Ezell in 1995's Friday alongside Ice Cube and Chris Tucker.
I'm suing y'all. Oh, I'm hurt. Oh, my neck, my back, my neck and my back.
Ice Cube said on Twitter, "Sad to wake up to the news about A.J. Johnson passing away. Naturally funny dude who was straight out of Compton at the same time. Sorry I couldn't bring your character Ezell back to the big screen in last Friday." For more on the life and career of Anthony Johnson, go to thr.com. For The Hollywood Reporter News, I'm Tiffany Taylor.
Because it needed to be brought back in real life. Call Halal Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Makak Wadash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. A salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom Yasharallah. Forgive me for my hiatus. Let's just chalk it up to us still being in captivity. Two quick stories I wanted to touch on. The first, I'm sure you've already heard by now. Call me late or you early and me just on time, if you will. In any event, for those of you not already sitting at the dinner table, actor, comedian Anthony Johnson, who starred in the movie Friday, passed away this week at the young age of 55. Some news agencies have him dying at 56, but his date of birth is listed on Wikipedia as being February 1st, 1966. In any event, Mr. Johnson was said to be found unresponsive in a LA store. He was then rushed to hospital where he was later declared deceased. No cause of death has been released. Some have asked if they believe foul play was involved, but no talks from the authorities of an autopsy being performed or any word from his family regarding any illness surrounding his untimely demise. Honestly, before I started surfing across the net and YouTube to get up to speed, what stood out to me, Israel, were a plethora of things, all leading back to the sick environment of Hollywood, which for me has been the topic of discussion lately because it is the lesser luminaries, i.e. these actors, entertainers, and celebrities that are being used to distract us from what's really important on the world stage. And when they're not doing that, they're attempting to goad us into taking the magic potion, if you will. In any event, as I was beginning to say, several things jumped out at me concerning Mr. Johnson's returning to the essence and Hollywood's sick involvement. One was the amount of misfortune, including the number of deaths associated with Ice Cube's Friday franchise. Reynaldo Rey, who played Red's Pops, LaWanda Page, who played Esther on Sanford and Son, John Witherspoon, Tiny Lester, Bernie Mac, Yvette Wilson, who I think is best known for her role as Ann Dell on The Parkers. In Friday, she played Smokey's hookup. The Lady of Rage is reported to be ill or recovering from a serious illness. Chris Tucker damn near went broke, declaring bankruptcy. All of the individuals mentioned were and are instrumental for the most part in what you see and associate today with so-called black comedy and how it speaks to the so-called culture. Bernie Mac, Chris Tucker, LaWanda Page, even in her seniority, all were leaders in the field. Let me get this first before we get to the point, because in our captivity, since the days of the plantation, we have been expected to be the primary source of Esau's entertainment. This is Psalms chapter 137, verse 3, and it reads, "For there they that carried us away captive required of us a song, and they that wasted us required of us mirth, saying, Sing us one of the songs of Zion. Sing, Blackie, sing, dance, Negro, dance, run, nigga, run. How shall we sing the Lord's, whose real name is Yahweh? How shall we sing Yahweh's song in a strange land?" After being raped, robbed, subjugated, exploited, spoiled as a nation, our land pillaged even, This nigga Esau expects us to sing and dance and keep up appearances. After all that, you expect me shoeing my ass to entertain you. You sell my daughter for wine. You've taken my son's manhood. Now it is incumbent on me to amuse you. How can we make mirth, meaning rejoicing, glee, or happiness, in the dire condition we have found ourselves in, losing our identity, our land, not to mention our knowledge of the power that is responsible for our very being? How could we be expected to find joy after going through all of that? Fast forward 2021. Now is not the time for singing, dancing, or comedy sketches that celebrate how rebellious and disobedient we are as a people, which is one of the reasons why the Lord keeps taking out these Israelite entertainers and celebrities, if you're paying attention, namely these comedians. Ecclesiastes 7:4, the heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. As Elder Apostle Rhymelab says, how are you still in the party and bullshit frame of mind when the sign of the times suggests otherwise? Y'all looking forward to a next Friday movie instead of preparing for the coming of the Lord. Isaiah 24, oh, both phones had a chime on that. Shalom to Elder Apostle Gabar. Isaiah 24:8, the mirth of tabrets ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoice endeth, the joy of the harp ceaseth. Speaking to the ensuing destruction that awaits Babylon, pursuant to Isaiah the 28th chapter, this is not the time for rejoicing and house partying. You 2/3 find your comfort in the retarded ass depictions of our people that Hollywood gladly presents you. As long as he keeps you vibrating on a low level, then he can have his way with you. And since we so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians, we Hebrew Israelites are the salt of the earth, we are the most copied, the most mimicked, the most appropriated. As long as Esau can get us to sing, dance, tell jokes, and basically show our ass, the whole world will follow. Another not so coincidence that just couldn't go overlooked. The scene from, I believe it played in the intro clip, the scene from Friday where the character Ezel, played by A.J. Johnson, pretends to slip and fall in the local corner store, and the fact that he's miraculously found lifeless in an LA store. Just like actor Michael K. Williams, whose character Omar was known to rob and kill drug dealers in real life, dies from a drug overdose. You can't make this stuff up. When art imitates life, or are these real-time rituals and sacrifices being carried out? After all, these young men were casted into their roles. Or maybe that's just a little too over your heads. This death and misfortune you see being acted out through these roles being spell-casted to so-called Israelites in Hollywood is a product of the witches and warlocks in power performing at the highest level. How is A.J. Johnson from Compton and played one of the most memorable roles in the Friday movie, yet Ice Cube is caught beating him for money and banning him from the set of the latter Friday productions? It lets you really know the character of the individuals engulfed in this whole atmosphere of making movies, making money. Nevertheless, they're there to create distractions that cause you Israelites, even for a second, to take your eye off the ball. Incidentally, Friday is named after the Norse goddess Frigga, the so-called goddess of love and fertility. Prior to that, the 6th day of the 7th-day week we have now was named after the celestial body Venus. For those of you familiar with the French, we know it to be Vendredi, or Venus Day. To the Romans, who were Edomites, Lucifer was the Latin name for the planet Venus. Lucifer is the compound of Lux and Pharaoh, meaning light bearer. Correct me if I'm wrong, but in Isaiah 14:12, the son of Lucifer, the son of the morning, in the Hebrew is Halalban and Shakar. Shakar meaning dawn, morning, or sunrise, refers to the rise and disappearance of the morning star Venus, i.e. Esau, who was once held in the highest esteem and regard, falling from his prominence. The long and short being, we know exactly who the Friday named franchise is an ode to. For those of you that don't know, the illuminated ones, that work on the left-hand side of the Lord. This belief system and the practice is the supposed source of their power, and as much as they trust in it, they are destined, like Esau, to fall. This is Zechariah chapter 11, verse 5. We'll start at 4, 5 being the point. Thus saith Yahweh my power, feed the flock of the slaughter, whose possessors slay them, and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord. They say God, they say Jehovah or Yahweh or the name even, but they never dare to call on the name of Yahweh. For I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. Speaking to our own leaders holding us fast, really through religion, primarily plantation Christianity, but this also pertains to our socio-economic political leaders and those that are influential in the entertainment business. It is they that make the most off of us, using words like movement and culture, who are in line with Esau Edom, knowing they are Israelites, but instead of spreading the gospel truth, being they have the largest platform, they suppress it for filthy lucre's sake, and the worry that if they do reveal the secret, they'll jeopardize the money, feeding us style and fashion instead of substance, i.e. philosophies and false doctrines. These are the men that should show pity, but they could care less because their bellies are already full. Their main doctrine is obtaining wealth and how to be rich. The drip and the floss. That's what they're trying to sell you. That should not be the major concern for you, Israel, especially in these end times. I'm not saying to practice being broke. Nothing wrong with hard work and enjoying the fruits of your labor from the sweat of your brow. Sirach 29:11 says it best. Lay up thy treasure according to the commandments of the Most High, and it shall bring thee more profit than gold. This is why we don't endorse nor do we subscribe to, as Israelites, the prosperity doctrine, nor do we mix these things of the world with the truth. Mark 4:19, and the cares of this world and the deceitfulness of riches and the lust of other things entering in choke the word, and it become unfruitful. So I don't care how successful or well-to-do you think you are. What the Lord got cooking, the magic potion mandate, the precursor to the MOTB, the mark of the beast, Jacob's trouble, ultimately that paper can't save you. 1 Timothy 6:9, but they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. And that's why everybody in Hollywood and the entertainment industry who should want for nothing and be the most elated and ecstatic are still getting high, be it the pleasure-seeking demon or whatever. Nevertheless, they're still getting high, but getting high is at an all-time high in killing you. It makes no sense. But, you know, to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai and to our elders and apostles and the men who are out on the highways and hedges and doing these sit-downs, teaching this truth, it makes the most sense because we understand this judgment. Proverbs 23:4, labor not to be rich, cease from thine own wisdom. The fear of the Lord should be the beginning of your wisdom. Wilt thou set thine eyes upon that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings. They fly away as an eagle toward heaven. Imagine all the movies Mr. Johnson was in. Over 50. And in his death, his family is still asking you to donate to a GoFundMe on his behalf to help with the funeral arrangements, as well as assistance with his children and grandchildren. Where's Debo when you need him? You know, that's all I'm going to say on that. The other thing I wanted to bring out, and really, it ain't a whole bunch of rap. Guess what bill the U.S. Senate has proposed to enact? It being the spirit of creating another federal holiday. Call halal Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash, through the power of spirit. I hope you edified. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach. It's 100% truth and rule well. Salutations to the hopeful elect. Remember, no test, no jab, and damn sure, don't take that chip. Shalom, Yasharallah.